again on this video. Thank you for joining me again to today. And today, guess what? I am doing something that I've never done before. I'm gonna be roasted. I'm gonna be told. I'm gonna be scolded. I'm gonna be like everything. So you guys, you must be there for me. You need to be there for me. So I am bringing up one of my clients who I'm also happening to be her client because she's going to perform something that she's been doing on hundreds of other people out there, helping them to become more productive, and helping them to identify and know themselves, build their strong teams and make more money. So ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome on stage my dear friend here, Claudina. How are you, Claudina?
I'm extremely well tonight, Munya, because the shoe is on the other foot for a change. So
Ooh, I'm scared. I'm scared. I'm
you
scared.
have to be
Well,
very scared.
handle with care. Handle with care, because you know that you only get this once, but I get you every day.
Yes, I know. And that's
You
why I've
only
got
get
to
this
make the
once, I
most
get
out
you
of
every day.
it. Yeah.
All right, great one. Yes, Claudina. Can so before we go any further, can you just introduce yourself a little bit? Just tell us a bit about yourself, what you do, and tell people what are we going to do today.
Okay, so my name is Claudina Hoffencher. I always say Claudina means perseverance, and Hoffencher is an Austrian surname. But I built my whole brand around the Hoffencher. So we are actually known as the Have and Share Empowering Hub group. So I represent that group. And part of the training I'm doing, I'm passionate about training and facilitate people. I have now developed Claudina's own mind mosaic, a portrait of self. And that's what we're going to discuss. Now, this very interesting mind mosaic personal portrait is an assessment tool where I have joined two areas, namely the temperaments, as well as my educational kinesiology part. So I have the privilege tonight to give Munya a feedback because he's answered this test. And let us see for those how accurate he answered. It's not my test that's the mistake. His answers are the one that we're going to test tonight. How it's going to play out? What do you say about that, Munya?
Well, I think I've answered that when I was in my deep sleep. I like, so
Well,
let's see how it
Well,
goes.
you're either going to be extremely disappointed or I'm going to be spot on. So we'll see in your face which one it
Yeah,
is.
well, let's see how accurate you are. Let's see how accurate you are. Who knows? We live in an AI environment, so maybe I just like, ChatGPT, please go and complete that form, okay? Go and do that and get done with Claudina.
We'll see.
No,
We'll see.
jokes
We'll,
aside,
just,
well,
we'll establish
the,
tonight.
the
Sorry?
yes, yeah. Well, jokes aside, the questionnaire was very simple and short, as well. Looking at what we are going to actually get. I hope I'm gonna get amazing stuff, but the questionnaire was very simple and very nice as well. So over to you, Claudina. Are you gonna share your screen, or how are you gonna do that?
Yes, I'm going to share my screen. I'm just going to
Okay.
open my window. I'm all ready for you, so we can straight go into the sharing part. Can you see it?
Yes, I can see it, but it's not readable. I don't know if you can zoom it in, probably.
It doesn't have to be readable. I'm not going to go into detail on the slide. I'm going to unpack it in terms of the colors for now. So that is fine. So then I don't
Oh,
have to
okay.
read the fine script of you. We'll hide that a bit away. Okay,
Oh,
so
okay.
this is typically the test I give to every corporate or every person I go to. I send them this very easy link, and then in this link they just answer on their WhatsApp 40-question quiz, and based on that quiz, I then can produce this report, which will see how accurate I am tonight, and then out of that normally flows the first course, or then a coaching session to know more. As you can see on the screen, there's quite a bit of writing on the one side, and that is what you get from me up to this point free of charge. But to find that hidden white space, we're going to have to book a coaching session, but that is a very valuable session so that we can unpack more. So, Munya, are you ready? I'm going to tackle this in four things. First of all, I'm going to talk about you as based on your temperament. And then I'm also going to then give you a little bit of a spoiler tonight, which I know you're not prepared for, is how you are in different scenarios in your life. And I think if your team were here, I do have you as a boss, so we see what type of boss you would be. I know one of the biggest challenges, and you've overcome it very well, is sometimes you tend to stutter a little bit. I'm going to give you
Yes.
my input about that, and then we're going to end off by giving you two exercises, range of exercises that you can try out and see if it makes a difference. That's in short
Claudina,
what I'm going to do with you.
Claudina,
Hmm.
you can come here and do all of my dirty laundry online. You cannot do that. Okay, you cannot do that. Well, I'll get you. I'll get you.
Okay, you can do it. You know me so well. Why did you invite me? You know what I'm capable of, Munya.
This is on live TV. This is internationally. All right, it's fine. Well,
Okay, it's
I
fine.
forgive
But
you. Go
if
ahead.
I'm
Go
right,
ahead.
you're booking me a
Yeah.
ticket to America so that we can do a workshop there. So, what do you think about that now?
Okay. No. Let's talk about that later.
Silence. Munya
Let's talk about
is
that later.
silent. People, you can't actually get Munya silent. Okay. Munya, if you look at that graph, what do you
Uh-huh.
see? You see
I
quite
see
a
a lot
bit
of
of,
colors.
yes,
Well,
but which ones are standing out for you? Which two colors stand out for you?
yellow and red. Oh,
Yes.
those are screaming like. "Arr."
So that is in the test, the first part of the test that I'm testing is the temperaments. Now, the temperament test I'm using is the very old test of 400 years BC of Hippocrates. And we're talking about melancholic and sanguine and all of those fancy words. But for tonight, Munya, we only focus on your two strong ones. So your two strong ones is the combination between the red and the yellow. Now, if I for a moment can stand still, they're fairly close, but you're a little bit ahead with the yellow part. And the yellow part is a part that is to do with brilliance. It's a part that's got to do with enthusiasm. It's got a part that's sociable. It's a zest for life. So typically, you will effortlessly get to a conversation or a group of people and start a conversation, and you become the life of the party. So that is that part of you that is strong. But then your secondary temperament, which is the one that we also look at, is your red one, the choleric one. Now, that one is the one that's very powerful, and that's the one that is very goal orientated and assertive and determined. So you have a combination between these two. Now, when we look at your choleric temperament for a moment, you are really, you go there, you've got unwavering confidence. So when people needs to get through a crisis, you're there and you know what to do and you know what to do next. And that is that sort of temperament. So you have this. So what I'm going to do before I unpack further of the issues, let me quickly brought in a little bit of the white space. So I'm just going to unpack my board at the back. And I'm just going to take off how you look like. We're not going to go into do much depth, but I'll just give you a bit of experience.
Okay.
So, yes, yes, and we're going to clearly see what's happening here.
Well, I have no idea, guys, what she's doing.
Okay,
Okay,
and I'm not
go
going to
ahead.
reveal all the secrets, but part of that white part, and just because I want to be a little bit nice to get my points back after the next session, you must just remember this moment because I'm going to start climbing into you now, is based on the other part of my mind mosaic test. I'm also testing the three dimensions. Now, interesting, Munya, you are in America at the moment, And the person's work that's based on this is coming from America. His name is Paul Dennison. It was he. So you're in the
Yeah.
country where this has been developed in 1969 already.
Well,
So, but what
I was
it,
40 then.
I don't think you were even a thought in somebody's mind at that stage. But that was my birth year. So all the good things happened in that. Okay.
Let me shush Claudina. Go ahead.
Quickly want to just express the one of the blue. That's where we measure if you are an expressive type of person or if you're inclined to be receptive. Remember, in any situation where you are faced with, you must make a choice between a dominant hand and non-dominant hand. If you're a right
Yeah.
hand person, you will automatically take the pen in the right hand. But the same is happening when you in your brain, when you need to be faced with a situation, you will be the one that can express yourself quickly, but it can sometimes kick you in the back or hit you, or because you can sometimes speak before you think.
Mhm.
Then the other side is you're either a left or a right brain. Now, each of those brains have their own, I can say, personality. Left, we normally are very analytical and logical. Right is much more about creativity and the big picture, etc., etc. And then that little green there that you see, some people are understanding feelings and emotions. Other people feel feelings and emotions and they get involved by those people's actions. Now, in your case, you the understanding part, you will understand a situation, but not necessarily get drawn in and feel it. So that is the other dimensions. And based on that, and the reason why I'm talking about that is because I just wanted to see how you are in certain situations. So this is the long and the short of how you are. Before I carry on, do you have any question or clearing up of something before I'm putting Munya in his life situations?
No, I think we are good so far.
You
Let
see, I was easy on you.
Yeah, well, let's go. Yeah.
Okay. Munya, I've got a couple that I want to, so but I don't know which ones. I'm going to read them. Just make a note on a piece of paper. You can choose three of my list.
Okay.
Okay. A business owner, a manager, motivation speaker,
Hmm.
a business coach, an entrepreneur, a husband. I think the audience want to know that. How you communicate, how you will handle grief, and I want the one handle isolation because I think you are quite isolated where you are. Handling of trauma, a boss, how you handle your finances, and out of the box thinking. Which three would you like me for now? Because I've drawn all of them, so we can actually let the audience. I don't know, maybe we should start a competition if they want to know more. They enroll and I give them the information.
Yes.
But which three would you like me to discuss with you and your audience?
Business or entrepreneurship. Boss. I'm not bossy, but let's talk about that. And then what was the other one? Read through all those
I
ones.
would like to. I
No,
would like to handle the isolation because you are
this
in a very
actually.
peculiar situation at the moment. You're not with all our friends of South Africa yet, yeah,
Yeah.
and even your wife. But let us just talk how this type of temperament will
Yeah.
handle it. So
So
let
we'll
us
do
start with
entrepreneurship, isolation, and boss.
at the end. Perfect.
Okay.
Now, the good news, I have asked how, remember with temperaments,
Yeah.
there's no right or wrong.
Yeah.
And each temperament has got his emotional intelligent
Yeah.
side and then he's got his emotional not so intelligent side. So I say, so what I've done in entrepreneurship, let's look at your temperament combination as well as the three dimensions,
Yeah.
how you would handle isolation or entrepreneurship in a negative way, how it will influence you when you are down and you're homesick, what possibly can happen. So I'm going to read this for you because I've worked it out. So as an entrepreneur under stress, you might become overly impulsive, taking unnecessary risk that could jeopardize your business. Additionally, your competitive nature may lead to conflicts with your competitors.
Yeah. So, well, the last one, I haven't really experienced it. The competitive that I have to do with but impulsive. Hmm. Interesting. Making quick, rushed decisions. So when I am stressed, I quickly create um, a to-do list that I've got 18 things that need to be done today. And guess how many of those things will be ticked off? Zero.
I don't,
Nothing. No, not
yes, not
even
even
one.
one.
Guess what? All 18 projects will be started but never get finished. Impulsive.
Yes. So it is not, remember this is not that you are like this.
Yeah.
You tend to be like that.
Yeah.
Because remember, there's a lot of other factors, your upbringing, your culture, your character is all making a difference. So it is what I'm reading here is not exactly Munya, but you tend to be like that, and that is what you've confirmed.
Yeah.
But let us end up on a positive note. So if you are in a good space and you're positive and you're not stressed, you have all of the pieces back on the board, not only half. You would be as an entrepreneur, you thrive on taking risks
Yeah.
and pursue opportunities.
I do.
Your sanguine part, your yellow part, makes you a naturally adaptable, and your choleric side drives ensures your perseverance to go through very, very tough challenges.
Yeah.
So, and then again, your green part, the cognitive part, and your focus helps you analyze the market trends and make strategic decisions. So that is how you will operate if you are not in the half position, but in a position of strength. What do you say about that?
Correct. Well, find me in good mood. I can change this whole world. I become everything. So yeah, so I take very good risks, calculated, and the decisions that I make in my positive side, they tend to work so well. Why? Because I calculated them, I planned them, and I sympathize with myself. I remove what doesn't really work. I focus on what's working. Yeah, that one it is truly me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But that is your natural. You will naturally
yeah,
do that.
yeah,
You need to be in an emotional intelligence space to be
yeah,
able to do that.
yeah,
And luckily, the two movements I quickly going to give you at the end is going to also help you to get out of the stress. So when you don't have all of that on the board, back jump onto the board, take caution to take big entrepreneurial steps. Okay,
hmm.
the boss.
Ooh,
We'll start with the negative side. I like to end up on the positive side, but let's see how Munya is as a boss if you are not doing what you're supposed to do. So, under stress or under emotional and not so intelligent, under stress, you may become overly demanding and impatient with your team. So, balancing your assertiveness with empathy and active listening help maintain a workplace can be a little bit of jeopardy because you're so angry that you want it now. There's no mercy. There's no fun now, guys. There's no time for fun. Now I want this my way.
yeah, you got that right.
We do not want a Munya, red Munya, when he's in a red with fire. Okay, let's look at positive. But as a boss, in a positive, balanced way, your leadership is characterized by your vision and assertiveness. You have the ability to visualize and be assertive in the same time. You set clear expectations, you motivate your team, and you drive results with enthusiasm. Your cognitive function, that green part, um, focus, ensure effective decision making, and you express communication in a very positive way. And I think that's why if the team does not play the part, you know that you give them clear direction.
Yeah.
You knew and you know, and then that's why you start being very impatient with them when you're not in that good space.
Let me tell you one thing in that, Claudina. You know, uh, even if it is something that I said 3 months ago, and I know that I created time to do this for you, to show you exactly what is it that I need done, and you just don't do it. Mm. Because I know that I've done my part. If you didn't understand, you were supposed to ask. You know, that's how I normally. If you don't understand, ask, and then let me re-explain to you. Let me do the right thing, so that whenever that I'm gonna ask you for my thing, I know that you will give it to me because you understood. So that is a very important point. Thank you for letting that out as well. Yeah, this is me. I confirm. I do.
Now, can I bring in the but? I'm so glad that you're so happy. But
The
here's the big
isolation.
but. Last, I'll get to isolation. I just want to share something with you in the audience.
Uh-huh.
You, as a leader, should not deal with your staff if you're not in an emotional intelligence space.
Yeah.
Because if you have a staff member that is totally opposite, blue and green, their
Mm-hmm.
nature is receptive, they will not ask because they fear to ask. That's not their nature. So if you an emotional intelligent leader and you see that the chips is on the table and they messed up, instead of turning negative, you need to think, what is my best approach now to this Mr. Green and yellow or green and blue so that I don't flabbergast them more? Because if you now
Yeah.
coming from this high shouting this, you block them more, they hear less. So Munya, you need my course because in my course I
Yes.
will teach you that you cannot act when you're not in an emotional intelligence space.
Let me tell you one thing. This is now making sense. Okay. um, Somebody some time long back was like, if one person's graph is going high, let yours go down. If yours is going high, let the other one go down, so that it can balance. Because if both of you are like, there's nobody who is hearing each other. And now when I could look into my team, well, that happens a lot. But I think now, from what you are saying, I have learned quite a lot to understand that right now I don't attend a meeting with my team if I know that I'm not okay, because I cannot control what I'm not gonna say there. So if I know that, okay, I'm not okay, what I what I do, I call my assistant Charlie. Say, Charlie, tell this to do this, tell that to do this, tell this to do that. I'm only gonna see you guys later on. It's there to protect. Well, I do that to protect me and to protect them, because I don't know what's gonna come out of this, especially when I'm not okay, especially when they didn't do what I want.
Yes, Munya, and I'm very hard on executives in companies. At the end of the day, that you choose them to come and work for you,
Sorry,
that you choose them to come and work for you.
by choosing, what do you mean? Like, did I conduct the interviews?
Yes.
Yes, I did.
So it was your choice to choose people that is green and blue because unconsciously you know that's what you need, but they will frustrate you terribly. But it was still your choice. Now I say to you, it's your choice how you're going to bring the best out of your green and blue. Um, Ultimately, the responsibility is with you, the business owner. So that is the hard Claudina part in a training session. but there's
Wow.
no other way.
Wow.
There's no other way.
I love that.
Okay.
I love that.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's go.
Good. Last one, handling isolation. And just because this is a bonus one, in a negative time when you are a bit stressed and you're homesick, isolation can be very challenging for you because you thrive on social settings. So, under stress, you might become very frustrated, leading to impulsive decisions again, and can have emotional outbursts. So it's vital to find healthy ways to cope with isolation and maintain balance. And I know just after COVID, you just told us all your story, how you struggled. And I think in COVID, it was a big turning point for your business because the isolation was part of the things that forced you to go back a little bit into your blue and green, to take stock so that you can execute it. So that little bit of isolation is good for you because you need to pull yourself together because you're on the go all the time. But if you don't manage the isolation, it can have a very emotional impact on you.
Oh,
Um,
right now, what I
but
do, if I'm not okay, if I feel lonely, I sleep.
Well, the that I also have an opinion about that, but let's leave that for next time. Yeah. So I think finding good ways, or don't see isolation
Yeah.
as lonely.
Yeah.
My advice to you is see your isolation as an opportunity to load your batteries.
Hmm.
You have that is tap into your blue
Yeah.
and your green a bit more. Equip yourself with the tool set to become more blue and green, and then that is also your phase where you can get ready to express yourself
Yeah.
in a positive way. And isolation, your the red and the blue, I mean the red and the yellow, choleric sanguine resilience allows you to maintain a sense of purpose and determination, and that's what you do. You see creative ways to stay connective and productive, drawing on a holistic thinking and cognitive focus.
Hmm.
So that is basically those three scenarios. Munya, how did I do out of 10 with this?
Um, you did 0.001 wrong. The rest is correct. So that is like 99.999999999%. Thank you and well done. I really,
Well,
yeah, like this is really true about me. The things that you were saying, I I could say I'm glad actually that I took this exercise because like it's showing me the other side of myself and what I thought I knew how to handle, and yet you had the solution all along, you know. Thank you for that actually.
thank you, Munya. I just need 5 minutes. Promise you,
Yeah.
5 minutes to give you the solutions. First of all, if we quickly can stand still with your challenge about your stuttering, it's not medical, it might be. Your
Yeah.
choleric side, that red side, remember, is all about driven and talking.
Yeah.
It can tend to speed up your speech, and you can become impatient, and you need to drive and you can't get the words out, and you can get very irritated. On the other side, you have this wonderful, bright, lively, sanguine part. So you're sitting with this energy to want to talk and jump into it, and then the anxiety of not getting it out and not getting the two to work together can hamper. And remember, if you
Mhm.
look at the brain there at the back, your sanguine part sits in the yellow side and your choleric on the other side. So for your brain to quickly switch between each other can hamper the process. And then, of course, the fact that you're in a yellow type of brain, your creative brain, your right brain, and that you are cognitive, you can tend to be on the point in a speech. And then when you start getting creative and dwindle off your point, and you realize you've done that, you sometimes will then feel that the stuttering is there as well. So that is just a little bit of insight on that. And
Oh wow.
this two, okay, do you want to say anything? And then I'm just going to tell you two short exercises, which I think you should do before every call, every speech. Yeah, so it might be part of it. but you have done great so far by the techniques and the habits that you forced on yourself as a motivational speaker to conquer this. Very proud of you about that.
Thank you.
Okay, so here is the part of so see three coaching sessions here in 35 minutes. It's amazing, hey? So
It is great. And I might ask myself, who am I talking to? Claudina? Straight to the point? No way. Okay, let's go.
no, focus, Munye, focus. I did my exercises before we started. Okay, so the first exercise I call positive points. Now, if you can see for a moment, let me just take my nice fringe away. Can you see my eyebrows just above the eyebrows? You can put
Mhm.
your two
Yeah,
fingers there softly,
yeah,
yes. If you put it on the right place. Now, you can tonight in bed, and we don't have time for it now, but if you touch there, we call it in the educational kinesiology brain gym
like this.
positive points. Yeah, so it's like just like that, and not press hard, just
Mhm.
softly on the temples there or on the front there. Now, I would like you tonight to go and lie in your bed, do it. What you will find is you'll feel a pulsation on the one side and
Mhm.
then something on the other side, and eventually they will pulse together. That means it's the blood flow is going from the reptilian brain, which is your stress brain, when you're in stress and you don't want to handle it, by just rubbing here for a couple of seconds or just hold it here, you
Mhm.
actually send the blood to the front, which is your focus area. This is the area where you reason.
Yes.
This is the
Yeah.
area where you make decisions. So by stimulating these 2 points here, you actually help the blood flow there. Did you see? A lot of people say, "What is the name of that thing?" You see the
Yeah.
natural, yeah, because that's the body's natural way knowing that we need to touch it. And then
Uh,
the last one, we are going to make a little bit of faces, and I hope that you're going to do it with me, especially you as a speaker, and especially to help you with your stuttering as well. I do it in front of before I do any session. Is the energy yawn, we call it in the educational brain gym part. Now, Munya, try to put your fingers where you open up your jaw. I think you did do it with me in sessions. So
uh,
put your finger on your cheek where you open your jaw, open and
uh-huh.
close. So now what we're going to do is you rub there and you're going to give a good yawn, like a good breath, or open your
You,
mouth, take the tongue out, and create a
you,
big jaw and really, really massage that. This exercise is
you.
phenomenal. Why? All your cranial nerves that goes through, most 50% of them goes through this area, and that is what you need to speak and talk and see. So by doing these two exercises, Munya, I believe that while you're height, it can make a big difference. And I would like to challenge you on that and let us maybe know in time to come how it was. And that's all for me, Munya. So thank you for the opportunity. And let's see if you have any questions or if we can wrap.
Yes. Okay. Okay. Can you just stop sharing? Yeah. Okay. Great one. Great. Claudina, I just want to say, thank you so much for this for this information. Really, really, especially the issue of dealing with my team. And the issue of knowing when am I supposed to be because look here, um, if in my entrepreneurship I'm not on the in the right state, and then I am still trying to push stuff to happen, yet I am not in my right space. Do you think I'm gonna make it? No, I'm not gonna be able to actually make this. But uh, or or maybe I've given my team the work for them to actually go and do, and then boom, um, I got there in a wrong state of mind. We're not going to be able to hear each other. And at the end of the day, there is no productiveness. The team is not happy. I'm not happy. Before we know it, the company is closed. But thank you so much. I really, really appreciate this. If you are out there and you also want to go through the same process that she went through with me, or figuring out what is it that you can do, who are you exactly, how do you behave, now, what is it that can trigger some of the things that you have no idea that these are the things that are triggered by my stress or by my pressure or by my habit. Yeah, there are also bad things that can be triggered when I am happy, so I can be so much overwhelmed. I'm happy, I'm energetic, I'm this and that, and then before I know it, I'm operating on my negative side as well. So I would say you might need a Claudina to go and look into your life, and actually and literally check as per what is it that she can do, and how can you improve that. You had a prescribing me, what am I supposed to do and where am I supposed to go. I am going to actually do that, and I am coming back at some point again and telling you guys what did I do and how did that impacted my life and my business and my health. So that's what I'm gonna do. Claudina, thank you so much.
Pleasure.
You really showed me that aside that I didn't know about you. Well, I only thought that I only thought that the only thing that you do is to come and bother me, guys. This lady, she give me headache. Okay, she give me headache. So that is the only side of her that I knew. So every time she book, I like, oh my goodness, I could pray, oh Lord, give me strength to go and deal with
Really,
Claudia.
Munya? Oh, not like that. Yeah,
I
now
could
I got
pray,
a
oh
shocker.
Lord, give me strength to go and deal with it because I just can't. But there you go. You show me this other. I know. Thank you so much, Kalina. I really, really appreciate this. Yeah, and I cannot wait for our listeners to also schedule a call, and you can do that by taking the quiz free of charge. She is giving all of you free of charge by click the link. It's in the bio. The link is in the bio. Click in the link in the bio, in the comment, or wherever you are watching this for, and complete that quick survey that I should actually gonna give you. Yes, over to you, Clive.
Last things I want to say, Munya, you spoke about you in such a happy mood. Remember, just a smell that's coming into your nose that you don't even know can trigger a thought of a very bad memory. So you sometimes
Mm,
feel, wow, I was okay, but there's nothing wrong.
mm,
But with that said, I know that every moment of every day, there's one thing that you do have, and that's a choice.
oh
Am I
yes.
going to handle this moment, which is feels so terrible, in a good emotional intelligence state, or am I going to just succumb to it and just react? But with
Mm,
the knowledge I gave you tonight, Minya, unfortunately, you cannot any longer make a choice of not acting out of emotional intelligence state. But luckily, we're
mm.
human and you are going to make mistakes, but just forgive yourself and carry on. Try again. There's a next moment and a next moment. Thank you for your opportunity of giving me, sharing a little bit of my passion with you.
I love that. I love that. Well, how I so wish that we can keep on going. So again, click on the link below for you to also take your free test, and then it's just gonna take you less than 4 minutes. Literally, less than 4 minutes, you will be done. To do that. So thank you so much, Claudina. God
Pleasure,
bless
Minya.
and have a great day further.
I will. Thank you very much.